All right. Um. Wow, I look tired. Okay, I just woke up from like a power nap. One of those old people naps where you rest rest your eyes, as they say. I don't know if anyone else's grandparents say that, but mine used to all the time. Yeah, they'd get up at like 5 in the morning, go sit in the recliner, have their coffee, then like close their eyes, and if you walked in about 6:30, 7 o'clock, you'd be like, "Are you sleeping?" And they'd be like, "No, I'm resting my eyes." And then like 10 minutes later, they'd be snoring. But that's relevant because this one we're going to talk about recovery now. So I have food, which is also relevant, and I hope it makes you jealous because it's tasty. Um, but uh, this could be done as part of a programming segment, but I will leave more of the intricate details about like um, time between sessions, time between muscle groups, volumes, intensities, the need for deloads, exercise selection. Like I'll leave all that shit for another video. I just want to talk about kind of uh, what I call modality versus inputs, and what I mean by that. Um, a massage gun is a modality. Your sleep is an input. The things that I see, and this is not a new observation by any means. I'm not pretending I'm the smartest guy in the room. The biggest things I see people make a mistake with is they confuse recovery with modalities. Modalities are great, they make us feel good, but there's not usually a long lasting change from the modality itself. Um, so we're talking about massages, ice baths, contrast baths, massage guns, foam rolling, uh, stretching. Um, those can all be useful tools to have in your box. But the most like important things that actually make meaningful impacts on your recovery are going to be sleep, water, and actual food intake. This video doesn't need to be long because it's just kind of obvious. I'm not going to go into the science behind why sleep matters, but we do know that, like, let's go back to mindset for a minute. If you're always negative, what's your sleep habit like? Because we know antisocial behaviors, depression, anxiety are all very strongly correlated with poor sleep patterns, like lack of sleep. Um, so I put short versus long to say you can go get an ice bath, and that might make you feel better that day, maybe the next 2 days. But getting your diet right will be something sustainable that'll help you the rest of the training cycle. And the impacts of that aren't always obvious. It's kind of one of those things where it's like creatine almost, in my opinion. In that when people take it, they don't always notice the benefits it has. Uh, Partially because now they can push harder and it just becomes a normal thing, but also because like if you eat a little extra calories one day, like usually you don't feel a significant change in energy levels until it's consistent. And by the time it's consistent, you've probably already been doing it enough that it's just again now your new normal routine. So what's important here though is like let's stick with diet. If you need to eat 2,500 calories and you're eating 2,300 consistently, and maybe every couple of days you eat 2,900 and make up for it or something, that's not a good idea. Okay, you're not eating enough to maintain weight. You're not eating enough to grow. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel beat up. Okay, same thing with sleep. If you most people probably need to sleep 7 to 9 hours, somewhere in there. Especially if you're training hard, dude. If you could get 10 hours a day, especially you younger people, absolutely do it. Manage your time wisely, but like you need to sleep, especially to recover. So if you're someone who sleeps 5 hours a night, can we get you to 5.5, 6 hours before we worry about getting you to 10? Like 10 would be great, but if we can set you up to consistently get 6, well, over a course of months, that's 30 extra hours of sleep. That's good. That's progress. Okay. So it's not always about getting for the biggest leap. It's about making the most sustainable one. So same thing with water. Okay. Um, Hydrate, man. Try and get a gallon of water a day. I mean, it's that simple. I put GPP here because sometimes it's not just that we're outpacing our recovery, it's that like we're fat and out of shape, and just improving our base physical conditioning, like general aerobic work for you meatheads, would actually improve your recovery session to session, and in turn lead to better gains in the long run, even though it may pull from what you're doing in the current moment. So just keep that in mind. You may just be out of shape and stuff. I think though the last thing I wrote here was food, water, sleep, and stress. Stress to me, that's the big one because everything is always stress. Okay. The reason modalities work so well, in my opinion, outside of like the occasional short buffering process where they make us feel all nice or numb or warm or we feel a release, is that we trust it to make us feel better and we get this relaxation effect. And that relaxation helps us reduce the stress hormones that we're putting out all the time. Like, think about it. How stressed are you usually when you're like, oh, I feel like shit from training versus like, oh, that massage gun made me feel better. Like, you just generally walk around feeling a little better about your day, a little less stressed. So it's not that modalities aren't important. It's just understanding that what we're getting out of it may not be worth what we spend on it. So if you're spending $200 a week on, a chiropractor, and you could be spending the 30 minutes to an hour you're there on maybe 15 minutes of meditation and extra 45 minutes of sleep every day, and the extra money on groceries for better quality food to eat, like that's a better bet. So just keep that in mind. Those are basic things. It's not about getting immediately perfect. It's about how do I make the step from where am I at now versus where I need to be. So the best thing to do with that in mind is, what are you doing right now? Take it, like write it out, track it so you know, and then think about the person who is where you want to be. And what are the things that you think they do? Or if you know someone who's at that level, ask them, what are you doing on a daily basis for your recovery? And then figure out what that gap is and how do you make a manageable shift to get there. Okay? So that's going to be the important thing.